front CV axle, and then the inner and outer tie rod on that side. So those four parts with an alignment installed, you're looking at $2,100.
All right, so $2,100.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Do you have my dad's number or?
I do. 207-219-2782.
Yep.
I
But
did call him and he didn't answer. I gave him a message.
all right. Thank you. Thank you for calling me. So, uh, sorry, I'm just processing. So 2,100, and you said that may or may not cover everything.
Well, so that'll make the car drivable again. The reason it's not drivable is the ball joint let go. So if we get a new ball joint on there, the wheel will attach the way it's supposed to. When the ball joint let go, it damaged the axle shaft and the outer tie rod, I'm for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We might not even need the inner, but I'm quoting the inner just in case. So that will easily get you moving. It's just a matter of obviously it fell onto the pavement. You know, it's not an accident, but it's we're going to
Similar.
need to drive it after. Chances are this will be all you need. You know what I mean? But it's just hard to say when the car doesn't move. You know what I mean? So if we get all those parts on there that we know are damaged and bad, we can get the car moving again, get an alignment done, and make sure everything else is good. But yeah, does that make sense?
Yep. No, I follow. Even though it wasn't an accident, it's still the car, is as if it was an accident, more or less, because of it hitting the ground. I
Yeah, and I
understand.
mean it's kind of. I mean, the bigger point, the reason I used an accident as a example is because in an accident you have to get the car moving again before you can determine other things, right? So
Yep.
we know it needs a ball joint because the ball joint let go. That's why what happened happened. We know it needs an axle shaft because the axle shaft was damaged. We know it needs an outer tie rod because the outer tie rod was damaged when it made you know what I mean, when what happened happened. The inner tie rod, it's hard to see. The inner tie rod's attached to the steering gear, which is farther in. You can't really see or test it with it laying on the ground like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, um, I mean, I quoted that just in case the technician said that. Excuse me. So that
Mm-hmm.
it might not need that inner tie rod, but to get one coming and quote it just in case. Um, and so this is kind of a worst case scenario. Like if we don't need that inner tie rod,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually going to save you a substantial amount of money because that inner tie rod by its with the part and the labor is just about $600. So I mean, if we don't need that, then your 2,100 becomes 15. I mean, it's a big jump. You know what I mean?
Yep. I understand and I appreciate your honesty. So, I'm trying to think. So, I know this might sound random, but would it pass for an inspection sticker after you get all that work done? Because I'll be honest, my dad, realistically, if, you know, uh, we'll have to put in money whether we like it or not to fix this vehicle. So I'm just thinking out loud, but with all the work we're doing, would it pass after all that work is done, let's say, for an inspection sticker? Or is that too soon because, like you said, you can't drive it yet, so you can't tell?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Um, the short answer is no. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it will because in order to do a state inspection, you have to inspect a lot of things per the state. Um, and I can't see underneath the car right now to see how rusty it is. I can't see. I don't know if the brakes work because it doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's a few things that I can't. I mean, from looking at it, I mean, it doesn't look. It doesn't look like a junk car. I mean, it doesn't look like it's in bad shape. So I don't know. I mean, you could just need this and it'll pass an inspection. I don't know. I mean,
Okay.
we could bring it in once we get it in. and get a better look at it and kind of get it moving, you might need brakes. You know what I mean? If you need rear brakes, or it has an exhaust leak, or you know what I mean. I don't. The short answer is I can't really answer that question.
Okay, I understand. All right. Thank you for your honesty.
Sure.
Excuse me. Yeah. So I'll thank you again for calling me. And my last question is, like I said, it's my dad's car, but honestly, do you think it's worth fixing based off the year and what you've seen of it? You know, do you think it's
Well,
worth fixing, or would it be smarter to consider buying another vehicle?
um, that's kind of a tough question to answer. It's got low mileage. That's one thing it has going for it.
Okay, good.
It really depends on how well maintained it's been for the last 15, almost 20 years. Excuse me. If you guys have been maintaining it well, and the transmission's shifting nice and the engine's running well, and you know what I mean, and it drives nice, it's worth fixing. But if it's deteriorating and you guys haven't really been keeping up on the maintenance, and you don't know if the spark plugs have ever been done or the coolant's ever been flushed, or you don't know anything really about it, then it's a little bit of a harder question to answer. You know what I mean?
You're right. And
Um,
I will say that my parents have tried their best to maintain it, but I'll just be honest if that's okay. Their mechanic they've been going to for years is an idiot.
yeah,
I like obviously I've spoken with you and I can tell that you actually know what you're talking about, but the mechanic that my parents have been using for years, I'm sorry. I know it's really disrespectful of me to say it, but they're idiots. They no, they really didn't fix stuff they signed off on, and
right.
uh yeah, and I would never talk about anybody so disrespectfully if I really didn't feel it was major. But moving forward, the vehicle is going to be properly maintained, and it has been maintained. It just the mechanic didn't really know what he was doing, and he fixed the brakes and then redid it. So